Greetings and welcome to an Omega Ronin production blog where this morning I'm doing a bunch of Omega Ronin related stuff. So for those of you interested in the Omega Ronin project here, I'm working on a music video for Synthwave Noir, the title song off the most recent album. And I've had this in my mind for a while. It takes one of these things that takes time, and it's always an uphill battle with any of this kind of just wacky, off-the-wall, crazy, imaginative stuff. But I'm trying to make it look like a sort of disjointed robot who's just been it's been awakened, whatever it is, walking through a cyberpunk cityscape. And that's what I got here. There were a bunch of filter effects on top of some animation work that I did earlier in the year in Unreal. It looks pretty cool. Just takes a while to render. Additionally, I need a lot of new music for the upcoming Classic Game Room projects and the trailers for upcoming products for CGR Publishing, whether it's Omega Ronin products or some of the other stuff. So I got about 5 songs in development here for the next album, and we might, by we I mean me, I might be doing some work on the 6th track today using, I'm looking at the iPad here, using Korg Gadget. So I'll show you. There's like 3 different ways that I start Omega Ronin songs. I'll either start with the drum beat, which then leads to the bass. Sometimes I'll start with just like the big chords and then build the rest of the song around the chord. And the third way is that I create the song inside Korg Gadget, which locks me into a different key than I usually work in. And it's a pretty interesting program for building the framework of a song that can then be expanded upon. So take a look at that and some of the product designs. There's a lot of product designs I've been working on for Omega Ronin, using 3D art. I made a whole bunch of cover designs, and the ones I'm not using for covers I'm pulling back and throwing on t-shirts and stuff. So let's get started here with the excitement of a production blog in space from the future. Okay, here's one of the new songs in development. This is one I actually created yesterday in the production studio. I didn't film anything because I wanted to concentrate on it, and I was working with the Juno X using a lot of manual filter controls, something I'm starting to do a little bit more. So you take, the Juno X is one of these keyboards. It's got like a bazillion different presets, but within a preset you can go and then start to create your own sounds out of it. So it's like a nice starting point, and then you can get in there and play with it on the fly. You can run a sequence and then just play with your filter effects. And that's what I've done here for some of these tracks. And I'll show you this in a moment. It's one of the reasons I really prefer hardware. Not only does it sound better, but it gives you more on-the-fly controls. That being said, the startup costs are obviously pretty high. So I'll show you some of that stuff on Korg Gadget in the next video, because I think for those of you who are maybe interested in getting started on this stuff, Korg Gadget for the computers and the iPad is a great starting point. But here's what this is starting to sound like. So I'm probably going to throw some sound effects in here, possibly some voice dialogue, something like robot voice dialogue. Something I don't normally do. I want to start working some more background effects into songs and some of these larger songs. These really big, just like 9, 10, 12 layer songs. But that's the starting point here for one of the next ones. And I'll show you some more of that later. But at the moment, I'm going to get back to starting that next track on Gadget, which is a very different process. So isolate this. One sec. I need my other hand. Here we go. Okay. So here's what one sounds like when I'm just playing with the filters. Here it's kind of waking up. Alright, here I'll show you a peek of the video too while I'm sitting here. Oh, that's me. I don't want to see me. Nobody wants to see me. I definitely don't want to see me. There we go. There, I'll show you some more of this in a different video also, but I've been, earlier in the year I was tinkering with a lot of 3D animation work. And a very imaginative way to use 3D visuals to both create something cool, but also to market products. Like people think I spend all my time on classic game room. That's like 2% of my job. The rest of it's all marketing and running a company. So I've got to find a way to use these tools, because I'm a lousy influencer, so I can't rely on just like turning on a cell phone and being like, hey, blah, blah, blah. I suck at that. So what I like to do is try to create something more interesting and then build off of it, but it takes a while, and something like this can take like a full year. Working with Unreal, working with filter effects, working with the music, and this is just starting to roll out now. So there's a robot dancing in the background there, and actually you may not be able to tell from just the camera shot here, but this was a take off of one of the old 80s comics videos where I was experimenting with this stuff. She's dancing behind a Transformers comic book. Yeah, I'm weird. Okay, see you next time.